I'm Franklin Central Senior Claire Albert, and this is a special Veterans Day report, The Real Survivors. Veterans Day is intended to honor all military personnel who have served the United States in times of war and peace. The men and women who served in World War II are now in their 80s and 90s. According to the National World War II Museum, we lose our veterans of the greatest generation at a rate of 740 a day. In an effort to preserve their stories, I sat down with Navy Signalman First Class Paul Kennedy, Naval Amphibious Forces Seaman First Class Bill Hagedorn, and Corporal Ione Thompson of the United States Marine Corps Women's Reserve. Signalman First Class Kennedy, did you enlist in the Navy or were you drafted?
Oh, no, I enlisted after I got out of high school. I joined the Naval Reserve and was called to active duty in 1940. I knew that we were going to be in a war, and I didn't want to be sitting on the sidelines.
How did you feel about the war in Europe prior to Pearl Harbor?
Hitler was doing some terrible things, and everybody hated the fact that he was doing these things, and it was an all-out effort to stop him. Otherwise, he'd be here in the United States. And as far as we didn't know, of course, what was going to happen at Pearl Harbor until things got to a climax.
Do you remember the day Pearl Harbor was attacked?
Very vividly, December 7th, 1941. I'm a Pearl Harbor survivor.
What was it like being at Pearl Harbor the day of the attack?
Well, I had been on watch from midnight until 4 a.m. and stayed up till 5:30 drinking coffee with the man that relieved me. And I was going to sleep all day Sunday. Well, at 5 minutes to 8, the general quarters alarm went off, and I immediately covered my ears with a pillow because I thought it was a drill. And my buddy pulled me out of my bunk and said, "Come on, Paul, the Japs are bombing hell out of us." He said, "Grab your gas mask, your helmet, and get to your battle station." I did that, and as I went up the stairway to the quarterdeck, about 20 feet above my head was a torpedo plane, and a Japanese pilot had his canopy back. He was looking down at me, and I was looking up at him. And when he cleared our ship, he dropped the first torpedo that was dropped, and it hit the USS Oklahoma battleship, which capsized in 20 minutes. I'm standing up there running up a flag hoist in full view, and my thought was, do I want to get shot in the back or the belly? But my next thought was, it don't make any difference. So I continued to run the flag hoist up, and he missed me by about a foot. And no one on our ship got hit by that plane. And so from there on, it was just chaos.
What is your most memorable experience from the war?
The night of December 7th, 1941, everything was quiet. There was no lights on. The only lights was the flames that were burning off of the Arizona. The black smoke and the fire were still burning brightly. And this was so disheartening. Of course, the Arizona was sunk. And right in front of the Arizona was the battleship West Virginia, and they had not taken their flag down. It looked like the flag from the West Virginia was right in the middle of the flames, the smoke, and the flames on the Arizona. And I'll tell you, seeing that put cold chills down my back, because my thought was, we're not beat yet. We're terribly hit, and we're in bad shape, but we're not beat yet. And today, when I hear the Star-Spangled Banner, I get a cold chill down my back.
Is there anything you'd like high school students to know about World War II and the veterans who served?
Well, I want them to know that the torch is in their hands now to carry on, protect our flag, honor this country that we saved for them, because, quite frankly, if we'd lost World War II, we would all be speaking Japanese or German right now. It wasn't easy. We lost over 400,000 men and women during World War II to keep our freedom free.
Although our veterans have experienced different places and events during World War II, the pride they take in their service is constant.
They fought to get into the war because they loved their country. It was that simple. And they wanted to protect it. I'd go again tomorrow if I was called.
No question about it. I wouldn't have wanted to have been any place else.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
It is our generation's responsibility to preserve the stories of our veterans and honor all of our military personnel, past, present, and future. Make sure to thank a veteran on November 11th and keep listening to 91.5 WRFT.